Moving on to some Week 1 NFL predictions. Of course, the headlining game for Week 1 is Thursday night at 8:20. We have the Falcons versus the Eagles. Let's go Dirty Birds. But also, I mean, this is a rematch of that, was it the divisional playoff round?
And that was a sleep fest. My goodness, that playoff game.
Fuck off, man. All right, yeah. Yeah, so the Falcons started off that game pretty strong, had 10 points by the half. I mean, we were definitely winning that game at the half. Of course, the offense sputtering because of Steve Sarkisian, usual suspect. And the Eagles' defense and the Falcons' defense were really the star players of that game, if anyone's going to take anything away. So I think, again, the defenses are going to be the biggest impacts for this game. The Falcons' defense looks revamped. Got a couple of rookies that I think could make an impact right out of the gate, as well as having Vic Beasley, Tack McKinley, and Grady Jarrett holding down that defensive line. And Debo. We got Debo. He's a rising star in the NFL. Deion Jones is definitely going to make his mark. Keanu Neal, that whole secondary, I think is going to be solid. I think it shouldn't give Nick Foles some trouble. However, on the flip side of that, the Eagles revamping that pass rush even more than they could have, adding Michael Bennett this past summer, and just that extra depth is going to test the Atlanta offensive line, who still has some question marks at right guard coming into this season.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be quick with this. I think, Nick Foles was a fluke last playoffs. I mean, there's nothing to take away from Nick Foles. They earned it. He played amazing football, but it's different to do it for a full year and do it again in the next year. And I think the Eagles will be a little bit confident coming into this game after coming off a Super Bowl victory. I think it will mean a lot more for the Falcons. And, you're putting up Matt Ryan against Nick Foles. A lot of injuries the Eagles have, including Carson Wentz. It's a pretty big one. So I think you have to go with the Falcons. The Eagles are 2-point favorites at home. I think it'll be a pretty close game, but I think you got to trust Matt Ryan to close it out late, Matty Ice, rather than Carson Wentz. So another interesting game will be Jimmy Garoppolo heading to Minnesota.
Jimmy G!
Minnesota, great team last year. The Niners, popular pick to make the playoffs from the NFC West. Minnesota's 6-point favorite. Who do you have in this game?
I mean, the Vikings they're already top 3 Super Bowl favorites right now. This team,
and they added Kirk Cousins.
They are so solid. I hate the Vikings, but this team looks so good. Their defense only got better. I mean, they look monstrous, quite frankly. I mean, yeah, the 49ers, Jimmy G, he's definitely going to show out for them. I think he's going to play well. I don't think he's worth all that money he got still. I don't agree with that. But I think this is going to be a close game. However, I'm going to take the Vikings by probably a score or two, honestly.
Yeah, I think the Vikings will win fairly easily. I think Garoppolo is going to be a really good quarterback, but this is the first time where Garoppolo truly is the man. Before he was in New England, was able to come in when Brady wasn't playing. He was the backup. In San Francisco, he wasn't the starter until whoever that guy was, I'm blanking on his name, got hurt. Then Garoppolo came in, and he had some success. But no one was preparing for him. No defensive coordinator was preparing for him. You see a lot of times quarterbacks in their second season, which, in fairness, that's what Garoppolo is right now. He's a second. It's pretty much his second year as a starting quarterback, and so there's that. But there's also Minnesota. Minnesota is a very tough place to play. It is very loud, and they're just a really good football team. Their defense can eat you alive. They just added Kirk Cousins, and they have a great running game along with great wide receivers, and now they replaced Case Keenum with Kirk Cousins. So I think the Niners and Garoppolo will still be pretty good, but that is just a tough test for anyone, especially when it's your first just real game, when teams have had a whole offseason to prepare for you. And it's not like the Niners have an amazing roster. It's good, but it's nothing compared to Minnesota, and they're on the road. So we'll continue. We'll move from the NFC West to the AFC West. The Chargers will be playing in their scary StubHub Stadium. They'll probably pack at least 12,000 people in there, but they're still a really good football team. 3.5 points favorites against the Kansas City Chiefs, and second-year quarterback Patrick Mahomes. Who are you picking?
I am going to have to go with the Chargers. Chargers fans, finally your year. You're going to make the playoffs. You're not going to do much there, but you're going to make the playoffs. I mean, Joey Bosa, he's showing to be one of the best young pass rushers in the game. Melvin Gordon's already a top-tier back, in my opinion. Phillip Rivers, he's still got some gas in the tank, and if you've got a healthy Keenan Allen and Phillip Rivers working together, it's going to be a rough time for any defense, and that defense for the Chargers looks so solid. The Chiefs, they lost a couple of players this past year. Marcus Peters, I believe, they lost him.
Yeah.
I think this Chiefs offense is all going to be dependent upon Patrick Mahomes. However Patrick Mahomes play will dictate this game. However, I'm going to have to go with the Chargers.
Yeah, I think the Chargers win as well. It's first game for Patrick Mahomes in the NFL. That's tough. I mean, that's tough for anyone, and you have to deal with Melvin Ingram and Joey Bosa on either side.
Yeah.
And then you also have to deal with Derwin James in the secondary. It's questionable if he's going to play, but if he goes, that guy's a playmaker in the secondary. He will force turnovers, and when you have the pass rush from Ingram and Bosa, that's going to help Derwin James. Also, Casey Hayward, lockdown cornerback. As long as the Chargers can avoid injuries, they're going to be a really good football team. Offensively, they get Mike Williams back. That guy's a stud. A lot of people probably don't remember him, but he was at Clemson with Deshaun Watson.
Oh,
beast
yeah.
of wide receiver.
Great wide receiver.
Now
If you can just throw the ball up, that guy will get it.
You have
He's
Keenan
an
Allen,
athlete.
Mike Williams, Melvin Gordon, Phillip Rivers. I mean, it's a skilled team.
This is a sleeper team. I think it's a sleeper pick for the playoffs.
I think they win week 1. Let's move on. Monday Night Football, Los Angeles Rams will go to the Black Hole to visit the Oakland Raiders. The Raiders are 4-point home underdogs. So, long shot for the Raiders to win, according to Vegas, but who do you have?
I'm going to have to go with the Rams, bro. Like, what do you want me to say? I mean, the Rams literally got the Monstars on defense. They got Ndamukong Suh, Aaron Donald. They got Aqib Talib. And did they add Marcus Peters as well this past season? I mean,
they added the whole NFL.
I mean, like
they
literally,
might have Khalil Mack in it.
Honestly, I mean, we'll see Khalil Mack putting on a Rams jersey, and then Jared Goff coming off a very solid year. Todd Gurley obviously coming off his great year as well. I mean, this isn't even gonna be close. I'm sorry, Raiders fans. Sorry, Ryan. I mean, this is gonna be rough.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Rams will win, but I do think it'll be a close game. It's unfortunate with the Raiders that they lost Khalil Mack, but they're still going to be a lot better than they were last year. The coaching is just 100 times better with John Gruden on offense as well as Paul Guenther. So the coaching is going to be just a million times better. It might hurt a little bit with the loss of Khalil Mack, but the Rams are way more talented on both ends of the team, and they're going to come out on top, but I still think it's going to be close. I think Carr and company have a big game, Carr and Gruden, but the Oakland needs to win early, because if they don't, it will get ugly in Oakland.
It's going to get ugly
with the Khalil Mack trade,
son.
as long as with the pending move to Las Vegas. So it's a really big game for the Oakland Raiders. You cannot underestimate that. They need to win at home. I don't think they do. Last game, Deshaun Watson is back. I think everyone in the NFL is excited to see what this man is able to do in his second season.
Give DeAndre Hopkins a good QB. That man will put in work.
And so they will go to the road. They will face New England. They're 6.5-point underdogs. I mean, you got to go with New England this game. I think you'd be an idiot to pick the Texans. I think it's going to be a tough day, because you don't bounce back immediately after an ACL injury. Usually it takes you about a year coming back. And, well, what test do you get? You get probably top 2 best football team in the NFL in the New England Patriots in Foxborough. No one wins in Foxborough.
I don't think this Patriots team is the same as last year, though. That's my only thing.
Yeah, people said those rumors.
I mean,
before,
yeah, I'm never gonna
Bowl.
bet against the Patriots and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady. I mean, that's stupid. But I'm gonna bet against them this game, because I think the Texans are gonna come back full force. J.J. Watt and Jadeveon Clowney, they're finally gonna be able to play healthy together. Hopefully, they can have an entire season of them playing healthy together. I think J.J. Watt and having Jadeveon Clowney just mess up those offensive tackle situation that the Patriots had this offseason. I think it's going to be an interesting game to watch. Definitely going to be close, but I'm going to put the Texans ahead of the Patriots for this game.